Chamber of Commerce has sponsored an annual search for the Teacher of the Year in an effort to recognize and support the efforts of education system within our communities. Local teachers are nominated by their peers, by students, and the parents of some of those students because they've been a positive influence in the lives of many of the young people, as well as the other educators whom they work with side by side on a daily basis. The nominees must submit a very detailed, we'll call it a resume, a professional biography outlining their accomplishments, their teaching philosophies, and their views of the teaching profession and what it means to them as an individual. The successful candidates, in addition to receiving this honor, receives a beautiful crystal award from the United Regional Chamber of Commerce, as well as a check for $1,000 from Bristol County Savings Bank to do with as they please. The recipient is also nominated by the Chamber as a local candidate for the Massachusetts Teacher of the Year. And this candidate acts as a spokesperson throughout the community, identifying his or her teaching philosophies and ideas. I will tell you that this year we were faced with a very difficult decision because all of the teachers that were nominated deserve this award today. The outstanding things that they do with our young people here in the room and so many others that they deal with on a daily basis, they all deserve a big round of applause for at least being nominated. This year's Teacher of the Year is Jennifer McCann-Black from King Phillip High School in Rentham. Jennifer has been at King Phillip for 9 years and teaches 10th grade AP US History, 12th grade AP Psychology classes, and freshman US History. She holds a Master's of Arts in History from Brown University and a Bachelor of Arts in Politics, cum laude, from St. Anselm's College. She co-chairs the National Honor Society, coached freshman girls soccer, and represents her colleagues as Vice President of the Union. Excuse me for a moment. This one's going to be tough, folks. Unfortunately, Jennifer cannot be here this morning to accept this award. At the beginning of the school year, Jennifer and her husband found out that they were expecting their first child. To say they were thrilled would be an understatement. However, on March 31st, 2018, on Good Friday, Jen's life forever changed. Thinking she was suffering from a chronic cold or pneumonia, Jen sought treatment, thinking nothing but the health of her baby. Within hours, doctors located 2 embolisms, one on her heart and one on her lung, as well as a mass in her heart. 3 days later, Jennifer was diagnosed with angiosarcoma, a very rare and deadly form of cancer. She was 31 weeks pregnant. While her baby's health was her greatest priority, Jennifer still felt the responsibility to her students. So while in the hospital, during her chemo treatments and her doctor's appointments, Jen would send emails checking on her students, making sure that their lessons plans were in good shape, constantly encouraging them and reassuring them of their ability to do well in their upcoming AP exams. When Jennifer was asked, what factors influenced you to become an outstanding teacher? She told us, I went to public school up through grade 12. I myself had outstanding teachers who had a great impact on my life. So many things that I now do today is because of what they taught me. They helped me to shape to be the person I am today. My father is also part of the public school system and has been a huge influence in showing me how important it is to be civically involved in as many, many possible ways. So we asked her, what is your message to your colleagues and to the general public? And she replied, teachers change lives. Teachers build our society. Hardly anyone that is an active contributor to society has not been through school. From learning how to read to doing advanced calculus, we shape America and its workforce. We are important, and we need to remember that even when others do not, people easily forget that they went through 12 or more years of school that helped them become who they are today. I have unfortunately been hospitalized since March, and my son since his birth. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. But every one of these people that have touched and saved our lives had teachers. That has become so clear to me while hospitalized. We as teachers help to grow every single profession. Since they know what I am, a teacher, and this is a teaching hospital, they have utilized me to meet with residents and medical students to help them to learn, and I've been so happy to do so. Even the best, most experienced doctors in this hospital have told me they have learned from me and my case. We are all lifelong learners. On one of the rare occasions I was allowed to be wheeled outside, a young woman came up to me as she was leaving the hospital. It was a former student of mine. She had heard I was in the hospital and was hoping she would run into me. She is now doing research in one of the fields that my case is connected to, and while applying to medical school at the same time. You never know how your students will impact the world. You don't know how they'll impact your life, but we as teachers shape the future. Jen was nominated by Mrs. Melinda Moran and Dr. Lisa Mobley. Melinda wrote that Jennifer is a definition of a true educator. She's extremely intelligent, giving, thoughtful, motivated, kind, and most of all, strong. While there are many unknowns following a cancer diagnosis, there is one thing that is absolutely clear. Mrs. Jennifer McCann-Black is an extraordinary person and one of the finest teachers this world has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, to accept the award, because Jennifer could not be here, we've asked the head of her department and her best friend, Mindy Moran, to come up and accept this award.
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone on behalf of Jen and her family. I hate the fact that I'm actually here having to accept for her, but I'm honored to do so. And so just for a little bit of good news, if I could tell everyone that yesterday, actually ahead of schedule, her son Michael was able to go home for the first time. So that was actually a lot of wonderful, wonderful news. So her mom couldn't be here today. She wanted to be. She actually is with Michael. Jen has a treatment today of chemo, and her husband Matt hasn't left her side throughout this entire ordeal. So he's with her as she goes through the treatment, and she's been texting me throughout the day and just wanted me to say thank you. She is so honored by this award, and she will get better, and she will be back teaching someday very soon, hopefully. So thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like to ask some of our legislators to join us up here. Because some of you know that not a politician could be long-winded, but we've only asked Miss Betty to come and speak for this whole troop of individuals up here.
Thank you, Jack, and I have to say, you did an excellent job with your previous announcement, and I know it was very difficult for you. And it makes us all appreciate how fortunate we are to be here, to live in this great area of the country, and to have so many wonderful teachers, mentors, administrators, and people who care. And that's what legislators are. Even though we might be looked upon in a different light, we really are all here because we care so deeply about the people who live in our particular areas of representation. And we work every day to find the best way to bring things home to our districts. The mayor as well, the mayor of Attleboro, Paul Heroux, has a huge responsibility for his city, as does Miss Lisa, who works in the office for our Congressman Joe Kennedy, and our representatives, Stephen Howard from Seacon, Jeff Roy from Franklin, and Jim Hawkins from the city of Attleboro, and our city councilor at large, Julie Hall. Everyone is here because they care very much about you. We congratulate you all. We wish you a wonderful, wonderful future. And never forget where you came from.